Good morning, everyone. This is lecture number 13 of Engineering Thermodynamics. Today we will see second part of unit number 2, which is ideal gas. Now, what is ideal gas? The ideal gas is a one which follows ideal gas equation. It's called as a ideal gas. But in reality, there is no ideal gas, and the gas which is available is called as a real gas. Therefore, here we will see three types of gases: ideal gas, perfect gas, and real gas. What is difference between ideal gas, perfect gas, and the real gases? And ideal gas is defined as a gas having no force of interaction, no force of intermolecular interaction. Such gases is not possible because in the gas always there will be a intermolecular attraction between the molecules or the atoms. The gas which follows the gas law at all ranges of pressure and temperature are considered as ideal gas. Means the gas which follows ideal gas equation or the gas laws at all ranges of pressure and temperature is called as an ideal gas. Actually, the gas law are completely based on the particular temperature and the particular pressure. Therefore, ideal gas is not possible, or this is the imaginary gas. Ideal gas is the imaginary gas which is completely ideal, not a real. However, real gases follows this law at low pressure and high temperature. Since we are calling it as ideal, ideal is the ideal condition always. Means uh, there is no such gases which perfectly follows the ideal gas equation, but there are some gases which tend to follow the ideal gas equation at very low pressure and very high temperature, and such gases are called as a real gases. There is a concept of perfect gas also. The perfect ideal gas which follows ideal gas equation or the gas laws, all gas laws at any temperature and pressure, at all condition of temperature and pressure, such gases are called as a ideal gas. And the gases which tends to follow the ideal gas equation, which tends to follow the gas laws, are called as a perfect gases, are called as a perfect gases. Now real gases also tends to follow the perfect gas, real gases also tends to follow the ideal gas equation at a low pressure and high temperature. Now what is difference between perfect gas and the real gas? The perfect gas are the gases which are permanent, and the specific heat of these gases doesn't change with a temperature. But real gases, in case of real gases, specific heat changes with a temperature. This is because the force of attraction between molecules tend to be very small at reduced pressure and elevated temperature, means high temperature. When the pressure of any gas is drastically, the intermolecular forces between in the gases is very less, or temperature is increased at a very high level. Again, the intermolecular forces reduced drastically. In such cases, at a very low pressure or very high temperature or both, gases tends to follow ideal gas equation. Such gases are real gases. An ideal gas obeys the law PV is equal to MRT or PV is equal to RT. Here I have written capital V. Capital V is a total volume and M is a mass of gas, R is a gas constant, and T is a temperature. PV is equal to MRT, and here I have written P small v is equal to RT. Actually, small v is a specific volume and small v is equal to volume per unit mass. Therefore, if we divide capital V by M, it becomes small v. Therefore, it will be P small v equal to RT. The specific heat capacities are not constant but are function of a temperature. For real gases, specific heats are not constant. but for ideal and perfect gas, specific heats are constant. In case of real gases, specific heat changes with the temperature, but there should be a substantial change in temperature. In that case, specific heat changes. The perfect gas obeys PV is equal to mRT and has a constant specific heat capacities. The specific heat for the perfect gases remains constant, whereas the specific heat for real gases changes. The same equation, PV equal to mRT. A perfect gas is well suited to mathematical manipulation and is therefore a most useful model to use the analysis of a practical machinery which uses real gas as a working substance. Since the behavior of real gases is changes for different gases, behavior of every gases is different. Therefore, we cannot establish a relationship or mathematical relationship for every gases. Hence, we have established a relationship for ideal gas or the perfect gas, and we consider that at a very low pressure and very high temperature, all real gases follows these equations. Therefore, we need to uh, find mathematical manipulation and mathematical equation for ideal or perfect gases only. In reality, there is no real or there is no ideal or perfect gases. In reality, there is no perfect or ideal gases. We have understood what is ideal and what is perfect. The ideal gas which completely follows the gas laws at all temperature and pressure, and such gases are called ideal gas. And the gases which follows the gas law or the ideal gas equation at very low pressure and the very high temperature, such gases are called as a perfect gas. But perfect gas has a constant specificity. Specificity does not changes with temperature. But whereas in real gas also follows ideal gas equation at very low pressure and very high temperature, but specific heat changes with the time, changes with the temperature. At very low pressure and very high temperature, real gases like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, helium, etc. behaves nearly the same way as a perfect gas. Means most of the gases like hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, helium, and other gases also behaves like perfect gases at very low pressure and very high temperature. These gases are called as semi-perfect or permanent gases. These gases are called as semi-perfect or permanent gases. What is meant by permanent gas? The permanent gas is the gas which does not change its phase even though its temperature is reduced. But this is a hypothetical term. Permanent gas is a hypothetical term because every gas changes its phase. Every gas can be condensed if the temperature is reduced. Therefore, this term permanent gas, there is no such permanent gas which doesn't changes the phase. Every gas changes the phase. We can convert gas into liquid, any gas into liquid by condensing. The term semi-perfect has an implication that the behavior of the gas are nearly the same as that of perfect gas. The term permanent was used for these gases by earlier chemists who thought that these gases did not change their phase, that is, did not condense to liquid. Hence, they are called as permanent gases. By the earlier theory of some chemists, they thought that these gases like hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, helium, these are the permanent gases and these gases cannot be condensed. Maybe there was not a technology for condensing. Therefore, they were thinking that these gases are hard to or difficult to condense and these are incondensable. Therefore, heat or the chemist term these gases as a permanent gases. But in reality, we can condense every gas, all type of gases. There are no gas which does not change phase, and there is no permanent gas in the real sense. We can condense all type of gases. However, this gas can be changed into liquid only if they are subjected to great decrease in temperature and increase in pressure. To condense it, either we have to increase pressure at a very high level or to decrease the temperature at a very low level, or both. By increasing pressure and decreasing temperature, or by individually decreasing temperature or individually increasing pressure, we can convert these gases into liquid. All gas behaves in nearly in a similar way, especially at pressure considerably lower than the critical pressure and the temperature above the critical temperature. Means all type of gases are behaves in the same way. All type of gases behaves in a same way, even though perfect gases, or if we take an example of real gases, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, these behaves in a same way at a very low pressure and very high temperature. The relation between independent properties such as pressure, specific volume and temperature of a pure substance is known as a equation of state. Equation of state is also called as perfect gas equation, and this perfect gas equation gives the relation between pressure, temperature and volume. For engineering calculation, the equation of state of perfect gases can be used for a real gas so long as the pressure as well below their critical pressure and the temperature above the critical temperature. Means the temperature above critical temperature means at a very high temperature, and below critical pressure means at a very low pressure where it can condense. Where it is in a gas form, not condensed form. The equation of state of a perfect gases are Boyle's law, Charles law and Gay-Lussac law. You might have studied in 12th also Boyle's law. The Boyle's law talk about the constant temperature of the isothermal process, and it states that the volume of a given mass of a perfect gas varies inversely as a absolute pressure when temperature is constant. Boyle's law states that at constant temperature, pressure and volume of a gas varies inversely proportional to each other. If we if we maintain constant temperature and the volume is increased, the pressure will decrease. If the volume is decreased, pressure will increase. Pressure and volume behaves inversely proportional to each other when temperature is constant. If P is absolute pressure of the gas and V is the total volume or the volume occupied by the gas, then volume varies inversely proportional to pressure. If you take constant temperature and if you change the volume, if you increase the volume, pressure will decrease. If you decrease the volume, pressure will increase. Or multiplication of P into V, if you apply constant of proportionality, then it will be constant, then V into P will be constant. Therefore, PV is equal to constant so long as the temperature is constant. It means product of pressure and volume will be constant at a constant temperature. The figure shows the graphical representation of the Boyle's law. The curves are rectangular hyperbola asymptotes to be PV axis. We'll see the diagram. Each curve corresponding to the different temperature for any 2 points on the curve. Therefore, if we apply this relation for process 1 to 2, consider a process, isothermal process 1 to 2. At point 1, at state 1, the pressure and volume is P1 V1, and at state 2, pressure and volume is P2 V2. Therefore, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 because multiplication of pressure and volume or the product of pressure and volume is constant. Therefore, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 is equal to constant, and we can write P1 by P2 is equal to V2 by V1, or if you multiply, cross multiply, it will be P1 V1 into P2 V2, or we can write in a ratio of pressure and volume. Now consider a PV diagram. This curve or this diagram is also called as a rectangular hyperbola. Why it is called as a rectangular hyperbola? We know the rectangular hyperbola. You might have studied rectangular hyperbola in engineering drawing or engineering graphics. In a rectangular hyperbola, at a particular point, at any point on the curve, at any point on the rectangular hyperbola, suppose I am taking one point here, and this is a y-axis and this is a x-axis. The product of x and y, product of x and y at all point on the curve is the same. If you take point here, if you take point here, or anywhere on the curve, and if you multiply distance x and distance y, you will get the same value. If you multiply distance x and distance y at any point on the hyperbola, you will at any point on the rectangular hyperbola, you will get same value. If now only we are replacing xy axis by pressure and volume, and if you take on any point, if you mark any point on this curve, and if you take multiplication of pressure and volume, if you take multiplication of this is a volume and this is a pressure, you will get same value, you will get same value. Therefore, product of pressure and volume on isothermal curve is a constant. Therefore, PV is equal to constant. There are three constant temperature curve. These are constant temperature curve. These are constant temperature curve, and here temperature T1 is less than T2 and temperature T2 is less than T3. As the curve moves in the upward direction, it, suppose I am drawing one more temperature curve here, it will be, the temperature will have higher, it will have higher temperature. On this curve, temperature curve, at every point temperature is same. Suppose this is 30 degrees Celsius, means I am marking any point on this constant temperature line, it will give only 30 degrees Celsius, but it will give different pressure and different temperature, different pressure and different volume. It will give different volume and different pressure, and multiplication of pressure and volume will remain constant for constant temperature. Now this is second constant temperature curve, the temperature is higher. This is the third constant temperature curve, the temperature is higher. If you take any point, if you take number of points on the same curve, it will give same product of pressure and volume. Charles law talks about the constant pressure. It gives the relation. It states that if any gas is heated at constant pressure, its volume changes directly as its absolute temperature. Means if the gas is heated at constant pressure, volume changes directly proportional to the temperature. If the gas is heated at constant pressure, if we are heating the gas and keeping pressure constant, then increase in temperature will increase in volume, increase in volume will increase in temperature. Means as the volume increases, temperature also increases. As the volume decreases, temperature also decreases if you keep pressure constant. Therefore, the relation is volume is directly proportional to temperature at constant pressure, or we can say V by T is equal to constant so long as pressure is constant. If the gas changes its volume from V1 to V2 and absolute temperature T1 to T2 without changes its pressure, if the pressure is constant, as the volume moves from V1 to V2, temperature also moves from T1 to T2. Therefore, we can write relation as V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2 is equal to V3 by T3 is equal to V4 by T4 is equal to constant. And for process 1 to 2, we can write relation V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2 is equal to C. The graphical representation of Charles law is, this is a TV diagram, temperature volume diagram, and this line represents the constant pressure line. This line represents the constant pressure line, the P1, P2, P3, and pressure tends to 0 at absolute zero temperature. This is absolute zero temperature, means minus 273 degrees Celsius or 0 Kelvin. At a constant temperature, at the constant pressure, consider a P1 line at a constant pressure. If I am taking some points on this line, as I am increasing the temperature, volume is also increasing. Means pressure and volume and temperature is directly proportional when the pressure remains constant. Now Gay-Lussac law states about the relation between temperature and pressure at constant volume. Temperature and pressure at constant volume. Gay-Lussac law also called as a Amanto's law. Gay-Lussac law also called as a Amanto's law, and Gay-Lussac law states that the pressure of a given mass of a gas varies directly with the absolute temperature of gas when volume is kept constant. Means at a constant volume process, as the temperature increases, pressure also increases, or pressure increases, temperature also increases, or vice versa. If the pressure decreases, temperature decreases, or the temperature decreases, pressure also decreases. Similarly, in the like last equation, Charles law, volume and temperature is directly proportional. As the volume increases, temperature increases. As the volume decreases, temperature decreases. If we keep pressure constant, in this case, if we are maintaining constant volume process, as the temperature increases, pressure also increases. Means pressure and temperature are directly proportional at constant volume process. We'll understand by this process, by this graph, pressure temperature graph. This is constant volume line. As I am taking some points over here. Look at here. At this point, it has particular pressure and particular temperature. Suppose I am increasing the pressure, temperature also increasing. Again, further increasing the pressure, temperature also increasing. Means as the pressure changes, temperature changes. As the pressure increases, temperature increases when we keep the volume constant. Therefore, this law gives pressure is directly proportional to temperature, or we can write pressure upon temperature is equal to constant, or P1 by T1. If you are considering process 1 to 2, at state 1, properties are P1 by T1, and at state 2, properties are P2 by T2 at constant volume. We can relate this equation P1 by T1 equal to P2 by T2. P and T have the direct linear relationship. Means as the pressure increases, straightaway temperature also increases. As the temperature of the enclosed gas increases, the pressure increases at constant volume. Next, we'll see Avogadro's law. You might have studied this Avogadro's law in 12th physics also, or chemistry. The Avogadro's law, also known as Avogadro's principle or Avogadro's hypothesis, is a gas law which states that total number of atoms or the molecule of a gas directly proportional to volume occupied by the gas at constant temperature and pressure. Now what is the meaning of this? You take two beaker, keep the volume of gas in both the beakers same, maintaining same temperature and pressure. If we take two beaker or two container, keeping volume of gas same at same temperature and same pressure, the number of molecules or the atom or of both the gases will be same. Even the gases are different. Even the gases same or different. Means at same temperature and same pressure, at a same volume, the number of molecules or the number of atoms are same. Avogadro's law is closely related to the ideal gas equation since it links temperature, pressure, volume and amount of substance for a given gas. At constant pressure and temperature, Avogadro's law can be expressed by the following formula. V is directly proportional to number of moles. V is directly proportional to number of moles. As the volume increases, number of moles also increases, maintaining temperature and pressure constant. The condition is that if you maintain temperature and pressure constant, as you increases the volume, the number of moles also increases. Or we can write ratio V by N, total volume by number of moles, is equal to constant, always for constant temperature and pressure, where V is the total volume of a gas and is in denotes the amount of gases or number of moles of a substance often expressed in moles, and K is a constants of proportionality. When the amount of gas substance is increased, the corresponding increase in volume occupied by the gas can be calculated with the help of following formula. V1 by N1 is equal to V2 by N2. Here V is the total volume and N is the number of moles. K or is equal to this relation is equal to constant always as per Avogadro's law. The universal gas constant. The engineering thermodynamics deals with the different system having gaseous working fluids. Some gases behave as ideal gas and some as a non-ideal gas. Based on the experimental method, various equations of states of gas have been developed. We have already seen PV is equal to MRT and R is a characteristic gas constant. Now what is universal gas constant? We write R bar as a universal gas constant. For perfect gas, the ideal gas equation shows that PV bar is equal to R bar T. We have seen equation PV is equal to RT, P small v is equal to RT. Now this is another equation, P small v bar is equal to R bar T. Now what this bar represents? Bar represents the moles. Bar represents the moles. Whenever we write bar, it shows that we have taken quantities per mole. Here the unit of mass is mole. Only we are considering unit of mass is mole. If you don't write bar, then this volume represents meter cube per kg. If you are writing bar, this represents meter cube per mole. And this R bar is a universal gas constant. Since universal gas constant is based on mole, we have to write volume in terms of mole, where R bar is a universal gas constant can be related as R is equal to R bar upon M. If you are now, what is R? R is a characteristic gas constant, and characteristic gas constant is different for every gases. If we consider the example of air, suppose we want to calculate gas constant or characteristic gas constant for air, then universal gas constant upon molecular mass of a gas Now, what is the value of universal gas constant? Let's check. Here, R is the characteristic gas constant, only R, not R bar. Here, R is a characteristic gas constant and M is a molar mass, or you can say molecular mass, or the molecular weight of the substance. Molecular mass and molecular weight is the same thing. V bar is the volume per mole. Listen, small v represents the volume per kg or meter cube per kg, but V bar, whenever we write bar, it is a per mole, meter cube per mole or volume per mole. The universal gas constant value is, the value of universal gas constant is 8.31441. In short, we write 8.314 kilojoule per kilomole Kelvin. Look at the unit. The unit is not kg, it is kilomole. Whenever we referred the amount of substance in term of mole, the gas constant is a universal gas constant. Or PV is equal to MRT, where here V is, capital V is total volume and M is a mass in kg and R is a characteristic gas constant and T is a temperature. Therefore, PV is equal to MRT, we have already seen, where M is the mass of a substance and V is the total volume or the volume of a substance, or P small v is equal to RT. Here small v is equal to specific volume, PV is equal to RT, and specific volume is capital V upon small m. If we take m in the denominator of volume, it becomes small v. That is, capital V is equal to number of moles into V bar, small v bar, or mass in kg, or mass in kg is equal to number of moles into molecular weight or molecular mass of a substance, where n is the number of moles. The gas constant is also related to the specific heat at constant pressure and volume as follows. Means we can relate gas constant in terms of specific heats, and the relation is R is equal to Cp minus Cv. R is the difference of specific heats at constant pressure and constant volume. The value of R is always positive. Therefore, specific heat at constant pressure is always greater than specific heat at constant volume. R is Cp minus Cv. Cp is specific heat at constant pressure. Cv is specific heat at constant volume. Whenever we talk about specific heat and specific volume, we are relating it with a gas, because solid and liquid has only one specific heat. Solid and liquid has only one specific heat. Only gas have two specific heat, because gas can be heated at constant volume and constant pressure both. Therefore, we have to consider specific heat at constant volume separately and constant pressure separately. Now R is, we are writing here only R, means it is a characteristic gas constant and a specific heat minus specific volume. If we are writing it a R bar, then we have to consider specific heat at constant pressure and specific heat at constant volume at a molar level. Okay, kilojoule per kilomole Kelvin. Upon plotting the variable PVT for an ideal gas on three mutually perpendicular axes, the three-dimensional entities generated is called the PVT surface and can be used for studying the thermodynamic properties of the gas. Now, if we draw PVT curve, it will give PVT surface. The figure is shown here. This is called as a PVT surface. This is a pressure, this is volume, and this is temperature. Now look at here. This is a temperature line, and this is also temperature, constant temperature line. These are constant temperature line. Look at here. These are constant temperature line. Here I have represented, I have shown by arrow. This is constant temperature. These are constant volume line. Look at here. These are constant volume line. Look at here. So these are constant volume line. Vertical lines are constant volume line on this face. Horizontal lines are constant pressure line, and here vertical lines are constant temperature line. Look at here, these vertical lines, these are constant volume line. Now constant pressure line, these are the constant pressure lines. This surface shows the intersection of pressure, temperature and volume and form a surface. It's called as a pressure, volume, temperature surface, or PVT surface. Now there are the example of molecular weight and gas constant. Now gas constant, we have already seen the formula how to find characteristic gas constant. Characteristic gas constant is the ratio of universal gas constant upon molecular mass, and these are the molecular weight or the molecular mass. The molecular weight of air is 28.97. In round figure we can take it as 29. Carbon dioxide 44, hydrogen 2, helium 4, nitrogen 28, oxygen 32 and steam 18. Steam or water or ice, it is 18 because we have three phases of water: steam, liquid, gaseous, liquid and solid. At all three phases the molecular weight remains same. We have seen the universal gas constant. What is the value of universal gas constant? Universal gas constant is 8.314. If you divide 8.314 by 28.98, you will get 0.287, and 0.287 is a characteristic gas constant of air, which is in kilojoule per kg Kelvin. If you divide 8.314 by 44, you will get 0.189, which is characteristic gas constant of carbon dioxide. Therefore, characteristic gas constant for every gases is different, but universal gas constant is same. It is a unique value. Next part is internal energy and enthalpy of a perfect gas. This part we will see in the next lecture.